Hello, I'm Shonda Witherspoon. Today my discussion is on Mercy Otis Warren. Mercy Otis Warren was a published poet, political playwright, and satirist during the age of the American Revolution, a time when women were encouraged and expected to keep silent on political matters. She was radical. She was an activist. She was intelligent and able to have her political voice heard through her pen. She was later endowed the title The Muse of the Revolution by Nancy Rubin Stewart. Born into a large family, Mercy's father was an attorney that was elected to the Massachusetts state legislature in 1745. So she was introduced to politics and government at an early age. Like most girls during that time, she was not trained formally in education. So she sat in her brother's lessons and soaked up all the knowledge that she could. Mercy's particular interest was that of history and politics. She also made extensive use of her uncle's large book collection and read and educated herself. During the years before the American Revolution, Warren published poems and plays that attacked royal authority in Massachusetts and urged colonists to resist British infringements on colonial rights and liberties. It is noted that Warren was one of the most convincing patriots in the Revolution, and her works inspired others to become patriots. She supported the Boston Tea Party and boycotts of British imports and urged other women to follow suits. Warren formed a strong circle of friends with whom she regularly corresponded with, including Abigail Adams, John Adams, Martha Washington, Hannah Winthrop. Hannah Winthrop was the wife of John Winthrop. During a debate over the United States Constitution in 1788, she issued a pamphlet titled Observations on the New Constitution and on the Federal and State Conventions, written under a pseudonym, a Colombian patriot, that opposed ratification of the document and advocated for the inclusion of the Bill of Rights. From the onset of the American Revolution, Warren began writing its history, which was published in 1805 as History of the Rise, Progress, and Termination of the American Revolution. The work deliberately avoided dull accounts of military havoc in favor of knowledgeable comments on the important dignitaries of the times, and it is still useful information today. Its marginalization and sharply critical treatment of John Adams led to a heated correspondence between the families and a breach in Warren's and the Adamses' friendship that lasted several years. Yet this work was among the first nonfiction book published by a woman in America, and she was the third woman in America after Anne Bradstreet and Phyllis Wheatley to publish a book of poems. The majority of Warren's work is political and governmental, but she did show a tender human side as she published letters to her family and friends. I'm ending this discussion with a poem of hers I found titled To an Amiable Friend Mourning the Death of an Excellent Father. Happy, thrice happy, that exalted mind, who leaving earth and its cares behind, has not a wish to ruffle or control the equal temper of his tranquil soul, who, on retrospect, is safe within, no private passion, no darling sin, can check his hope when death's instant power stand hovering on the last decisive hour. Then weep no more, my friend, but all resign, submit thy will to the eternal mind, who watches over the movements of the just, and will again reanimate the dust. Thy sire commands, suppress the rising sigh. He wipes a tear from thy too faithful eye, and bids thee contemplate a soul set free, just safe escape from the tumultuous sea. To the right of the courthouse entrance in Barnstable, Massachusetts, stands a bronze sculpture of Mary Otis Warren, and that is the place where she was born. Thank you.